You are about to witness bodily dismemberment, sub-zero temperatures, and all-out mayhem. Brought to you by the Frontline Network.
Sup, SUH fans, and welcome to the 5th Company of Heroes 2 Betacast, brought to you by the Frontline Network, presented by me, FatalSaint, and my good friend Tommy. What's up, Tommy?
What's up, FatalSaint? I am really getting into the swing of things now, onto our 5th Betacast, and we are really getting down to the frozen lakes and the frozen troops as they die horribly, but then also all the campfires to warm them up. So it's a real vibrant playstyle that we're seeing at the moment.
Yeah, we're getting into the swing of things now. 5 beta casts already produced after this one is done, obviously, and we're not going to stop there. We're going to keep producing as long as we're allowed to do so, us and a few other select casters that were selected by Relic Entertainment and SEGA to be allowed to break the NDA a little bit and produce some quality shoutcasts for you fine people out there, so you have something cool to watch at home. And today we actually have another 2v2 on the same map as last time on Reshev Frontline, and we do have Bjarkey and Barton on the Axis team. And who do we have on the Soviet side, Tommy?
On the Soviet side, we have Marcus and SunAngel.
Okie dokie, you ready to go? At the 5-second mark, unpause.
I am ready.
2, 1, unpause. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we do have Bjarkey building his tier 1 building with his first starting pioneers, while Barton sends his first out to begin capping already. So it seems he's going to be skipping the tier 1 building with his first pios and maybe build it later on. It's going to be interesting to see how these two teams actually match up on this map. It's a fairly large map. There's lots of potential of drowning and tanks and vehicles sinking in the ice. You got to be very careful when you're hanging around that middle VP.
Well, yeah, if you go back and watch our Betacast number 4, it was on this map too, and we had the T-7T with the thumb.
Yeah,
Arnold Schwarzenegger sinking under the lava.
Yeah, it was a tier 4, what's it called? The light artillery, the Su-76,
oh,
I
Su-76.
think. Yeah, that was the one that
yep.
sank through the ice very slowly and painfully. When I play and that happens to me, I just cringe. You can't stop it. You can just see it sinking very slowly, and there's nothing you can do about it. Nothing at all.
Especially when it's like a mint condition tank and you just bought it and it looks so cool and you're just getting all used to power sliding it around on the ice. You never had more fun, and suddenly, boom.
Yeah. Suddenly some indirect fire or a grenade or a tank shooting at you, because if you get unlucky and the tank misses, that can also break the ice, depending on, you know, what the weight of the tank that's actually running around on the ice is. So, you know, the bigger the tank, the easier to sink.
Into the ice as well. You can, like, ram them through the ice.
Oh, yeah.
Like, to crush the ice underneath them is great.
Yeah, it's really cool. We do have a first small engagement on the bottom left-hand side here at the fuel point. The Soviet player, SunAngel, is actually stopping Bjarkey from capping it with his first pioneers. After building the tier 1 unit, that was the first place he went with his pioneer. He skipped all of the strategic points. He went straight for the fuel, but it was too little too late. The Soviet player actually countered this by sending his first combat engineers and also his first infantry squad there. So even though the pios are in the building right now, they can't really do much about these two infantry squads from the Soviet players. One of the grenadier squads that Bjarkey has produced, the third one is already cooking actually, and just produced out of the tier 1 building for Bjarkey. So he's going to have plenty of infantry to fight this off on the left-hand side now.
This is a nice little push here. Combat engineers plus conscripts being used to force away these grenadiers. Grenadiers being better at long range against conscripts, but the conscripts tend to beat out grenadiers at very close range. It's very similar in a lot of ways to the old rifle Volksgrenadier dynamic that you saw in Vico. You've got those close range, numerous conscripts versus the sort of the fewer armed, but sort of only with the 4 rifles on the Grenadier squad, but putting out more damage at longer ranges.
Yeah, I think the Soviet player SunAngel now is doing real good on that bottom left-hand side, now denying the fuel cap for Bjarkey, and he's just not getting it. But Bjarkey is now actually reclaiming that VP that was capped by SunAngel before, and he does have some backup infantry from his teammate Barton now as well, with another Grenadier squad and a Pioneer squad coming in here. So it's going to be interesting to see who actually wins this matchup. There's a Grenadier in a house and a combat engineer in a house against some conscript behind that heavy cover well, the green cover well. the combat engineers are actually forced to retreat, but they are getting focus fire now down on retreat, and they're very, very low health. Potentially might lose this squad down to one guy. Running the gauntlet.
And with so much the Axis force over there on the left-hand side, this has actually allowed Marcus to move into the middle here and actually start capping some really crucial cutoff points. He's moved down all the way to the south to a really important cutoff there with one of his combat engineers, while a conscript is decapping another important munitions point while fighting off a grenadier squad.
We do have the Barton's pioneers actually capping that VP on the right-hand side, north side of this map now. So he's going to stop the drain because right now they are almost triple capping the Soviets. So he's gonna increase the drain even more actually.
We have our first infantry upgraders come in. It's that light MG on that grenadier squad. Does make them very powerful indeed. And against that, even though garrisoned units are still very tough as they were in the original game, I'm not sure if they're going to stand up to this many grenadiers. There's just so many of them.
Yeah, LMG upgrade on one of Barton's grenadiers, and he does have 2 other grenadiers and a pioneer squad as well, combined with Bjarkey's 3 grenadiers in the center as well. But here is the first vehicle from the Soviet player SunAngel. He's got a flamer hat track running around now, or a hat track with a flamer squad in it. He's gonna catch out one lone grenadier squad. Nice Panzerfaust though, might take him out. Very damaged right now. Focus fire from that light machine gun might be enough to finish it off. You never know. Oh, he's trying his best. And one more burst.
Tickle away.
He does get it.
Nasty. Those half tracks, they're just so vulnerable to Panzerfaust at the moment because one Faust is all you need to take it down to a destroyed engine, and from there it tends to be pretty easy to toast. We have more conscripts engaging that LMG squad down here in the south, and I can hear the sound of a sniper firing away as well.
Oh, we do have a sniper out from the Axis team. Let's see if you can find him. There's Barton snipers running around, actually getting cloaked when he goes past the cover. But now when he's standing in a road with no cover, he is not cloaked anymore. So you can, I guess you can jump from cover to cover to get most, a similar effect to Vico, where your sniper can stay cloaked on just an ability toggle. But you really got to stay in cover for that to happen all the time.
Yeah, snipers have actually been changed really interestingly in COH2. Now, they will only cloak in cover, but also, if they are in cover and they move out of cover, they will stay cloaked for a couple of seconds. It's not very long. So what you can do is you can hop from cover to cover and stay cloaked even while moving across open ground. So I think, as the more early game, meta game sort of gets developed over time, and sort of the skill sort of ceiling climbs higher and higher, I think we are going to see increased use of snipers, and I think there's a lot of ways that a really good player is going to be able to keep their sniper micro really, really well, because obviously in the original game, all it took was for you to hit the cloak button and you had unlimited cloaking wherever you were, but now you've really got to think twice about where you move with your snipers.
A rifle grenade was shot by a one-man grenadier squad before retreating, actually nailing some conscripts in the face with that little explosion. We do have a Soviet sniper out now as well. Is that from SunAngel? It is indeed. It's taking some shot at this grenadier squad now from... Oh, he gets shot on retreat. The Axis sniper is there, however, taking out one of the 2-man sniper team from SunAngel, forcing that sniper to retreat. And we do have actually 2 snipers now from Barton, I think. Yep, 2 of them.
A Pioneer just went down in the south to a nasty little scout car plus flamer combo. Those are just, ever since I played this game for the first time at Eurogamer back in September last year, the first thing that people discovered was, hold on a second, Soviets can build open top scout cars from their tier 1. Oh my god, flamers and snipers, put them in there. And suddenly you've got driving around with snipers and flamers shooting out the back, and it's great.
Yeah, it is really. It's a cool feature. It could be hard to balance. There's a possibility it can be hard to balance. But I think right now, the good kind of hard counter right now is just Faust the half track, and then just lay in some additional small arms fire, and it goes down. You got to be careful with it. You just can't just go lol charge into a massive amounts of grenadiers, because you'll just get Fausted and small arm fire, and it's instantly destroyed, and you lose it instantly.
Yeah, no, you've got to play very intelligently if you're going to do enough damage with it. And I think, to be honest, Marcus is going to have a tough time keeping it alive for a long time when he's facing this many grenadiers and not so much in the way of support weapons.
Yeah, we did have a lot of grenadiers produced from both of the Axis players actually, so we do have 3 remaining for Bjarkey after losing 1 to the Soviet snipers, and he also now has 2 Panzer Grenadiers and that 1 Flamer Pio as well. There's a rifle nade on that half-track, actually takes it out in the middle of the ice! That was a very, very cool attack from the Grenadier squad from Bjarkey.
When in doubt and your Panzerfaust is on cooldown, use a rifle grenade.
Yeah, that works. Apparently, we just saw it happen right in front of our eyes. That worked real good, actually.
We have this double sniper team now moving back into the middle. Now, snipers are particularly useful during a blizzard. It's something that hasn't really been exploited by a lot of players yet, but they don't suffer from the effects of cold because they've got those great Siberian wool coats or whatever made out of the woolly mammoths that they slayed with their rifles. So they are very useful during blizzards, particularly, and they have some pretty interesting abilities as well. Particularly the Soviet sniper can unleash a kind of
a flare.
Like a flare, like an aerial balloon.
That gives you some additional line of sight. It's a cool feature. That's a lot
God,
of Axis infantry. But a lot of conscripts as well, trying to focus down one of the one-man Panzer Grenadier squad from Bjarkey. Actually gets taken out, combined with another, is that a guard squad from, no, it's a shock troop from SunAngel, combined with the 3 conscripts from Marcus, takes down another infantry squad from Bjarkey. Right now, down 1 Panzer Grenadier and 1 normal Grenadier squad lost so far for Bjarkey, so it's not looking particularly well. And in the beginning of the game, just the sheer amount of infantry from the Germans really capitalized and took a lot of the map. They were almost outside of the Soviet bases, but right now they're losing quite a lot of the territories on this map right now.
Yeah, it's looking like things are going the other way for the Axis teams, and look at this now. This is really nice use of that half-track and flamer combo being put to good use against those Panzer Grenadiers, because of course the prime targets for these little flamer half-track combinations should actually be Panzer Grenadiers, because Panzer Grenadiers don't have access to Panzerfausts. All they have is Shreks, and obviously you're going to know if you're facing a Shrek or not. So, yeah. And because Panzer Grenadiers tend to be such good anti-infantry, sort of infantry killers, my preferred counter is actually a half-track with a flamer inside, because they will do a real number on Panzer Grenadiers.
Yeah, even if you focus fire with Panzer Grenadiers on a half-track, it's going to take too long, and you're going to suffer too many casualties due to the flamethrower.
Oh, you'll be long dead.
Yeah, so it's not possible. You just have to retreat. It's basically one of those situations where if you don't have any proper support for your Panzer Grenadiers, or they don't have any Shreks, you just gotta retreat.
Oh, this could be a bad situation of this half-track. It's going to take a Faust in the rear, and it's so close to death now.
Oh, that last burst from that MG bunker constructed by Bjarkey on this bottom left-hand side was not enough to finish it off, but he's pursuing it with the other 2 Grenadier squad and actually manages to take it out. Another half-track down for the Soviet player SunAngel. That's 2 now, I think, maybe even 3 of them.
That's really unfortunate. Now, this is a doctrine that I don't believe we've seen yet from one of the Soviet players. He's gone. It's doctrine, because doctrines obviously work a little bit differently in Company of Heroes 2. Because you'll have seen that we've seen different doctrines from a lot of players in the games that we have casted, but quite often we've had some common abilities between them. The guards and shock troops are good examples of that. So this is a doctrine that does have guards, but it also has some pretty unique things as well, like the ability for conscripts to repair structures and vehicles, which is really good if you have a heavy tank army, if you're going for a sort of a conscript plus T-34 spam army. That's going to be really good. And it gives you access to the ISU-152 heavy assault gun, which I really hope we get to see, because that thing is a beast!
That thing is a monster. It's so humongous. It's like the elephant from the Axis side. They're just so large. The models are like extremely big.
I love the big tank models in this game. It's sort of like there is no single KT that sort of blows everything out of the water. Instead, you just have lots of tanks that are all equally massive.
Yeah, kinda. It's kind of like that, actually. We do have some conscripts and some grenadiers just shooting at each other over this frozen lake in the center, while I think Barton was trying to fish for that counter snipe on one of the Soviet snipers from Marcus in the center, but he was not falling for it. He took a shot and then he actually backpedaled away, and then it took an additional shot on Grenadier squad, forcing him to retreat down to 2 men from Bjarkey. At the same time, we'd have a flamer half-track from Marcus that just got dodged 2 Shreks.
2 Shrek hits, but there is a pack there that he's about to walk into. I think that will take it out pretty quickly, but
he's actually getting around it.
Couldn't quite get the angle on him, and now he's flanking, and the shock troops in there. Those shock troops, if they get into close range, are going to do a lot of damage. They're actually... Where are they going? They're going into the base or something?
I'm not sure what he was actually pursuing with that half-track. There's quite an maybe it was after the mortar half-track, perhaps?
It's a frontal push now from the Soviet sniper team and a T-34, but it's about to walk straight into the jaws of this waiting pack. And there's a big hit right there. Although
mortar
it's
barrage
actually
now.
worth noticing that the pack isn't doing quite as much damage as it used to. It looks like the damage has been toned down from when we did our first beta cast, when packs could 2-hit T-34s, which is always a little bit silly.
At least 2 hit and then cause some form of an engine critical, destroyed engine, or maybe even immobilization, some 2 hits. Now it takes quite a bit longer. The recent patch actually mainly buffed health for vehicles and tanks. Nice Molotov on this massive blob of infantry from Bjarkey. He is forced to relocate due to the flames, but we do actually have a medic bunker set up in the middle of the map, almost just outside of the Auster bases, behind the middle VP or the middle of the map. There's actually some medics now crawling around in that deep snow trying to heal some grenadiers.
Yeah, that's interesting, because that's not something that we've seen yet. Sort of, Austere players seem to have sort of underestimated the importance of healing their squads. But look at this, it's a one-man squad now, and he's getting lined up for a shot by a sniper. This could be nasty. He doesn't want to lose that Vet 2 squad. Whoa, he just retreats in the next time.
Another Molotov forces these 2 Panzer Grenadiers back as well, and now the pressure is on from the 2 Soviet players against these 2 Axis players, Bjarkey and Barton. I'm not exactly sure what they can do right now. They just gotta hold out while they wait for reinforcements to hit the front line here against these Vet 2 and Vet 1 conscript squad that was finally forced to retreat.
These Axis snipers are doing a real number on this conscript spam. We've got 16 kills on one and 12 kills on the other. They are doing an awful lot of manpower drain. And also, this is a unit we haven't seen yet, is the Mortar Half-Track. It looks a lot like the Mortar Half-Track from the original game that the Panzer Elite had. It's a very powerful unit, and it is a doctrinal unit too.
Artillery is raining down, actually decreased the pack from the Axis player Barton. I believe it was his pack actually here in the center. He took 1 damaged hit. I'm not exactly sure what it was firing. I think it was the Su-76 from SunAngel, which is hanging around just behind the middle strategic point.
Yeah.
He actually shot at the conscripts in the building. Marcus conscripts, poor conscripts, hanging around in that center building. Just
poor guys.
Yeah, just supplying line of sight for the artillery. Took quite a lot of casualties, but managed just to get out of there alive with 1 man and basically no health whatsoever. I can't even see it on the unit icon. So little health.
More conscripts here versus a Vet 1 Grenadier squad with an LMG. They're both good in close range, but the shock troops tip the odds in their favor with a grenade.
Yeah, grenade forces instant retreat. Barton had no time to actually microwave away from that. When he saw that timer, it was most likely too late. Oh! That's a nice snipe. There's 2 sniper teams out from Marcus now, actually. Against these shreked up Panzer Grenadiers, you don't want to lose more than 2 men. After that, you might start dropping Panzer Shreks for your opponent's Soviet army, which is never good. You don't want to...
Hey, now there's a nifty thing. One sniper team is a male sniper team, and the other one's a female.
Is it so? Oh, yeah, I can see that. 2 of them are in those white camo clothes, and the other 2 doesn't... Why didn't the females get the camo clothes? None in their size? Was that
Stalin didn't think the women deserved them.
Seems very...
No equality in the Soviet army.
No, that doesn't seem fair at all. We do have actually 2 Su-76 out for SunAngel now. He's actually reversing through the ice here. He's getting fausted over and over again by these grenadiers. But there's nothing to actually finish it up. The pack tries to get him, abandoned at just at the shoreline. I think that's actually still sitting on the ice, so potentially it could get sunk before it gets recrewed. The 2 sniper team from Marcus actually forced to retreat. Very low health. A grenadier with an LMG picks off. I do believe that that male Soviet sniper team is gone.
1-0 to the women.
They survived the longest. Instant win. Do have another half-track now from SunAngel on the left-hand side. He's trying to get around this MG bunker, I believe, because they want to get that VP in control.
Both Su-76 were abandoned, and it looks like they're being attack moved now by these Austere troops to try and finish it off and make sure they can't be recrewed. Although I would love to see some Axis troops move in and actually steal both of them. Imagine that.
He could potentially steal
fight off Su-76s.
They're actually destroying it. I guess they think they're a little bit too close to the enemy front line, and if they jumped into it, it would most likely just get instantly destroyed. Because when you recrew vehicles, they start at basically the same critical they had before, very low health as well. So, you know, one potential AT nade or anything that just tickles those vehicles, it'll just explode again.
Yeah, it's not nice. It's not nice at all. So we have both Axis snipers still alive, 16 and 18 kills now, just chilling out in the middle. And T-34 moving out into the right-hand side. One Faust is not enough to do too much damage to him, but it does give him that nasty critical. But look at all these troops freezing to death.
Luckily for them, there's a house and a nice campfire around that strategic point, which they're trying to cap now. He needs to get those engineers out of the building, though, to fix up the engine on the T-34. He now has 2 of them, combined with his female sniper team running around here. He's going to try to move for the center again and reinforce. One of the Su-76 were actually recruited by SunAngel, by some engineers. And they're trying to repair it
back.
Sadly, those engineers are actually freezing to death in this blizzard, however.
It's 2 T-34s and a sniper now versus this pack. One more hit and it could actually be decrewed. It is decrewed.
Oh, nice bundle layer on those 2 conscripts. Oh, that was really nasty. They throw a Molotov of their own as payback, but that T-34 is toasted by those double shreked up Panzer Grenadiers from Barton. Very nicely made attack during this blizzard. He couldn't see them coming, and when he did, it was way too late.
The pack was decrewed by the Soviet sniper, though, although the Soviet sniper also lost her spotter.
Yeah, the Axis snipers were hanging around there somewhere. There they are.
Yeah, they got a counter snipe, but it was only half a counter snipe because obviously the Soviets have 2 women, I should say, sniper teams. Got more conscripts freezing on the frozen lake in the middle there. There's no fire. I think there is a fire when you first start the game in the middle here, but
might be.
It's always the subject of just such crazy artillery fire. It always just becomes an absolute nightmare to retake it.
Yeah, that whole lake there in the center of this map is very risky business for everything. Infantry, support weapons, tanks, vehicles, whatever. Because, you know, the prospect of one mortar shell sinking your tank into the frozen lake is, you know, it's a very bad prospect.
Yeah, it's scary stuff. We actually have the ISU-152. It's been unlocked, but I think it requires
a hefty amount of fuel.
It does require a hefty amount of fuel.
200-ish or something like that, I think. I'm not exactly sure.
Something like that, yeah. And we're only sitting on 150 right now for Marcus. But hopefully soon we will see that big old tank killer roll out. And it might be necessary because the first tanks are on the field. We have Bjarkey has produced himself a Stug and also an Opel Blitz truck.
Yep, the Blitz truck being doctrinal as well, and it can ensure a greater return of resources from own territory. So I guess you park it in one of your resource territories. It gives you a small buff. Nice grenade from these shock troops. Doesn't even decrew the pack, however. That was an unlucky grenade.
Got an engagement here on the right. It's tank versus tank. T-34 versus Stug, but the T-34 rolls over a fire and gets an engine burning critical. That was a mistake that's going to cost him his life. He might have been able to reverse out of there otherwise, and it goes down to the Stug, who emerges with barely a scratch.
Yeah, the Stug being a very potent tank killer, not very good at killing infantry at this time, but very, very good and a fairly cheap tank to handle Stugs. I do believe they actually changed that in a recent patch, even though this part of the beta, the closed beta stress test, is basically just, you know, some bug squishing and trying to see if the servers can handle a massive amount of players, etc. They've actually done one fairly large
there's an artillery
balance
strike
patch.
on the snipers!
Oh! That was a nice airstrike.
Oh, that was beautiful. That was an IL-2 precision bombing strike, and well, it was certainly precise, and it was certainly a big old bomb.
Oh, we do have close-range artillery shots from the Su-76. Takes out one of the grenadiers, and Molotovs flying all over the place now. Oh, suffering quite a lot of casualties, Barton there. But as you can see on his infantry, he has a double plus sign, which means he's used one of the doctrinal abilities that every time you lose an infantry squad, they get replaced by Osttruppen infantry. So for 60 seconds, it's kind of like Allied War Machine from Vico, but for infantry instead. So you can replace infantry squads that you lose completely with Osttruppen infantry.
Now that's interesting, because we haven't seen Osttruppen infantry yet. We don't know what kind of quality of infantry they are.
No, I'm not exactly sure. I think they're a little bit of a weaker version of a grenadier, perhaps. Something
they're sort of it's almost like Volks grenadiers, but
it might
you
be
can't
something
build
like that,
them.
yeah.
You can only get them from the ability, so they're rather unique in that way.
Yeah, might be something like that. I haven't had the pleasure of playing with them myself, so I'm not exactly 100% sure.
Here's the first squad of Osttruppen here. They are composed of allies of Germany. and apparently less well equipped and motivated than regular German units, but they are a 6-man squad, so I imagine they're very good as recruit material, pretty good as capping material, and not bad as regular cannon fodder. So they do have their purpose, especially when they're filled in an army which just contains sort of elite troops, really. You know, Grenadiers are expensive and strong. Panzer Grenadiers even stronger, even more expensive. So there is a place for that weak 6-man German squad.
Oh yeah, indeed there is. We do have a Panzerwehr for cooking in the tier 3 building from Bjarkey right now, so we're gonna get some indirect fire, some artillery from the Axis players as well. Because right now I think the Soviets are basically sitting on all of the indirect fire in the Su-76s.
Whoa, big strafing run comes in. The Allied sniper from Marcus actually went down. It was sitting inside that little wooden bunker, and one burst from the Grenadier nearby was enough to actually kill him.
Oh, that was a nasty artillery shot from the Su-76 on the middle VP. Takes out 2 Grenadiers from Bjarkey. Here comes the plane again.
Oh, here's a nice flank here by shock troops. PPSH shock troops moving in to try and decrew this pack.
Oh, they're also pushing for the Katyusha, and we do have another off-map.
That's the precision bombing run coming in. I don't know if Stug realizes.
Oh, he's slowly backing away. I can see the plane on the minimap. There comes the bombardment, but it actually does destroy the pack, but doesn't really damage the Stug that much. I think the main amount of the bombs actually miss the Stug. They hit all the AT and all of them. That strafing plane from Bjarkey is still just chilling around, shooting at the ground, I guess. All of the infantry actually fled from that spot. I would too.
Now, we got 2 squads of Osttruppen now moving into the middle. Now here's something that I wonder. Can you use the ability on Osttruppen? Can you lose Osttruppen and get more Osttruppen? It's like recycling your recycle.
Yes, you can recycle your infantry. Oh! 4 guys goes down to that Su-76, firing at very close range.
If he wants to try and recoup those losses.
Yeah, it does cost. It does cost quite a lot of emissions to use that ability, and I'm not exactly sure on how long the cooldown is for it either. So either one of those 2 things were probably happening for Barton right there. Either he couldn't afford it, or it was still on cooldown, perhaps.
We have a lot of infantry over here on the right-hand side from Marcus. They're all Vet 2, but actually this is quite interesting. They're all Vet 2, but they don't have any upgrades. They managed to get that Vet just through sort of taking damage, getting kills, doing damage here and there.
Throwing Molotovs around?
Throwing Molotovs around, yeah, because that's great for doing damage, but not great for really getting the kills. But it doesn't matter in Code 2, of course, because you can get there just from doing damage without actually needing to get the killing shot.
The Katyushas are firing around the center, just below the middle VP, around a mortar, which is just
they're
sitting
firing
pretty.
on these Grenadiers, and they're all blobbed up here in the middle. Molotovs flying in as well, and there's a Vet 3 Panzer Grenadier squad there. More Molotovs going in.
I think these Grenadiers, they are very sturdy, and the LMG-42 gives them some pretty decent DPS, but I think there's just too much Soviet infantry right here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 squads, 5 squads of conscripts actually.
They will soon be meeting their match in Osttruppen though, because there's 3 squads of those Osttruppen now on the field.
Did he use it again? Oh yeah, he is using it right now. You can see on Barton's Pioneers actually that the double plus sign is hovering above them. Because I do believe that ability lasts for an entire minute, I think 60 seconds. So you have 60 seconds to lose as much stuff as you possibly can to get replaced with Osttruppen. But you know, you gotta be careful of what you lose. If you lose the veterancy, you don't get it back on Osttruppen. They'll just come out mint condition, 0 veterancy. This Stug is kinda in trouble.
I mean, of course, it's not quite like that because Osttruppen are quite a lot worse than Grenadiers and much worse than Panzer Grenadiers. So anything that you lose is really just going to be compensating your losses rather than making you a profit, or even making an equal return. But here comes the Osttruppen wave. Oh my god!
I guess they're good for something, you know, like human wave tactics.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter how weak they are. If you have 3 squads of 6 of them, you have 18 rifles firing. That's a lot of rifles.
Just the sheer amount of infantry, it's 6-man squads, so many of them as well, combined with Grenadiers from Bjarkey as well, just forced out all of the Russian infantry from the right-hand side. And the Axis team has actually been sitting on 2 VPs, the center one and the left-hand side, for quite a long. That bunker is still actually intact on that side. It was repaired as well, so it's back up to snuff, full health. And we do have Opel Blitz truck. chilling out. You see, he's actually been unloading his stuff there all over the place. You can see outside of Bjarkey's base, the Opel Blitz truck just sitting around. You can actually see.
Whoa! One hit from the Stug was enough to immobilize a poor half-track that was rolling out here on the left. But he is taking return fire from the Su-85.
I was wondering what was so long range, and the Stug is actually abandoned. Potential steal, main gun destroyed, however, from the Su-85. Still using, I think, attack move. Yeah,
I think he's trying to attack move it.
Destroyed engine. That's a sturdy tank. There it goes.
We've got another use of scout car here. He's loaded up a flamer and he's just trying to flank and get rid of this pesky MG bunker, which has been sitting here and annoying him on this left-hand side for way too long.
Yeah, the Soviets needs to stop the drain. They're down to 245 EPs compared to the Germans 356, but we do have one P4 from Bjarkey moving out here, trying to stop the destruction of his bunker. He wants to keep that intact because it's an easy way to keep infantry away from that VP.
I think he's going to try and stay there to finish off the bunker, but I don't think he's going to make it, not against the tank.
Oh, yeah, I think Bjarkey's going in for some crushing action, and he actually pushes them in front of the MG, and they get insta-pinned and forced to retreat. The other, actually, engineer squad as well that was trying to stay out of the arc of fire from that bunker decapped the VP, but that was it. They could never claim it for themselves.
On the plus side, they did manage to at least wipe that VP, so the VP drain is slowed down a little bit. We're down to 245 for the Soviets.
Katyusha's firing on the Ostroops, but there's a little bit of an overshoot actually, so all of these grenadiers are safe, but there's an off-map used as well. Nicely microed away. Let's see if he can dodge most of the bombs here, falling all over the place. Nice big explosion, throwing lots of dirt into the air.
The central lake just got obliterated by an off-map, which took out a Vet 3 conscript. And another Vet 3 conscript could even go down here.
Oh, the grenadiers are standing in the Molotov flames, however. Two guys catches on fire, runs into the ice, and dies horribly. Oh, there's such a flamethrower laying on the ice as well.
There is a flamethrower laying on the ice. I want to see a shock troop pick that up.
Ooh,
imagine shock troops, which is elite armor plus PPSHs plus flamethrower. I think you have there the most elite anti-infantry squad in the game.
That does sound very, very painful for any Axis infantry to deal with. PPSHs, flamethrowers, and elite armored troops. We do actually have artillery firing now. It's one of those stationary Axis artillery pieces in the austere bases.
Ah, the left.
The left LEFH artillery firing at, I think, at the Su-85. I'm not exactly sure what it was targeting it before, but I think that's it. Yeah, the Panzerwehr for now is also firing on that Su-85.
Katyusha rockets are falling now around this mortar half-track. They're doing a lot of damage to the infantry standing around.
Ooh, lots of artillery. There's a one-man Panzergrenadier squad.
Oh, look at that mortar half-track.
Very damaged as well.
One rocket away from going down, but actually the Pioneers are there.
Oh, some nice teamwork between Bjarkey and Barton. He's repairing his comrades' mortar half-track with his Pioneers when they're just hanging around the medic bunker anyway. Medic bunker been taking quite a little bit of beating from the indirect fire from the Katyushas as well. A little bit damaged. Need to repair that up to snuff later. Two sniper teams now. Both. Is that double female?
That is double female.
Quadruple female?
What is with this sexism? Oh my god.
I'm not exactly sure. We do have the Osttruppen human wave tactic from Barton moving against these snipers now too
Pretty good against
much.
snipers, actually.
Yeah, because there's 6 men there. It's very good against snipers, I gotta say. Another Vet 3 conscript squad now in the center.
Heavily vetted conscripts.
Ooh. Oh, off map actually used the conscript retreat.
Oh,
wow!
Oh my god.
Was that a mortar shell? That wasn't even an off map. Here comes the plane now, when the infantry has long but fled due to that massive hit by the other indirect fire weapon.
Well, did a pretty good job of getting rid of the ice.
I
In fact,
guess
a lot of the ice is now actually gone. This lake is mostly water now.
The Soviets are trying to stop the drain down to 217 VPs now, but they are fighting fiercely. At the same time, we do have sneaky infantry in the north capping this VP from Barton, the double Shrek Panzergrenadier squad actually hanging around there. Osttruppen moving out in the center of the little bit of ice that's left in the center.
Oh, the beast is on the field here. The ISU 152 from Marcus. And my god, is that thing huge or what? Just look at the size of that gun. It's a 152mm gun.
You don't want to play with that thing. Not on the opposing side, at least.
No, you do not. It is a multi-role vehicle, so it's pretty decent against infantry, very good against tanks.
We just saw what happened to that Panzer Grenadier squad at that VP. It was a two-man, double-shrieked Panzer Grenadier that suddenly vanished because the ISU 52 decided that he didn't like those guys when the snipers were spotting.
That range?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh my god, that is insane.
Those things are not to be toyed with, seriously.
Yeah, most definitely not to be fucked with. We have a single sniper now. He's all on his own against these 3 grenadiers chasing him down this lake here on the right-hand side. But whoa, what was that?
ISU 52, man! It is shooting everything.
Can't even tell. Oh my! What that? That's like artillery on a tank,
Yeah,
but like free
similar.
fire. It's not even an ability. It's like what would happen if the Su-76 fired constantly with its artillery ability. That is just nuts. I've got to get me more of those. Why am I not going this doctrine more, Fatal? Tell me.
I'm not sure. Maybe we've been...
All I have to do is just spam conscripts until I can hold out to get this tank, and then I can win everything.
maybe so. I guess you can... it does fire quite slowly, so if you outnumber it with AT weaponry like Shreks and maybe Stugs, for example, or whatnot, maybe circle it, try and block it, then just lay
and
on
I
the
imagine
hurt.
a Panther would probably be able to take it on and win. But
Yeah, it does fire very slowly, but it's a multi-purpose role tank, so it's really good basically against anything, but it doesn't fire very rapidly. More rapidly than normal artillery, however, and the firing range, as we saw, is quite impressive.
it is nuts. It is nuts indeed.
But the Soviets are being pushed off the map almost completely right now. They're regrouping in the base, getting strafed.
Oh, poor guys. Look at this. The whole Soviet army practically is suppressed in the base. Marcus is changing up his tactics a little bit to fight the Ostripman. He is now getting himself 3 sniper teams, and actually one of them was a male this time.
Oh, that's nice.
Still sexist.
Comes the strafe again.
Or strafing.
Firing on the snipers,
goodness.
actually, suppressing
Wow,
them,
one
trying
sniper
to
went
cap the
down.
VP.
One of the snipers went down.
Really? I only see one squad. I guess they died very rapidly or something.
There were 2 squads, but there were 3.
Ah.
Interesting to note that snipers can actually cap even while cloaked. So you could really mess with your opponent's head by capping points where he doesn't even realize where you are.
Well, you're somewhere in this white circle covering that resource point, but where? That's the question. Where is he actually hiding?
Always the question. Oh, I think we're going to see the ISU once again against the Grenadier squad.
Oh, but he does miss this time, actually.
Oh,
and we
boy.
do have a Stug now rolling over the ice, trying to pursue this ISU 52 from Marcus, and it's very slow on the ice. Oh, it actually cracks beneath him. He might actually sink here. We do have 2 conscript squad, one with a stolen Shrek trying to help, and 18-8 goes in on that. We have 2 Stugs with those sexy side skirts. Boom! And the ISU 52 actually sinks the Stug instead of it sinking the ISU. That was a very, very large shot from that tank. It just opened up the ice. Look at the hole!
That was insane. That was the single shot it fired at the Stug, wasn't it? It fired 1 shot and it killed it.
Yeah. Well, I guess you gotta stay away from the ice.
It just like farted in its general direction and it died.
Now artillery is actually firing around the vicinity of where the Stug died on the ISU. Most likely Barton trying to sink that ISU, but it is actually back in the way to safety and it's on land. Dry, sweet, sweet land again.
That thing.
It's a monster. But you saw it got very damaged actually by that Stug.
And how quickly was that Stug firing? It was boom, boom,
that
boom, really hammering away at it. I mean, the ISU obviously doesn't have that much armor or health because the Stug was really taking chunks out of it.
Yeah, it did. It did indeed. We do have another ISU 152 now from SunAngel on the left-hand side, combined with his SU 85 and SU 76 as well. A very strong armored force from SunAngel. So he's throwing.
Well, they need to do something with it because very soon the Soviets are going to run out of VPs if they don't make a breakthrough.
Yeah, down to beneath 100 VPs now from the Soviets. They are trying their best to reclaim the VP and the South SunAngel here. Katyusha's now also firing. Oh, that might have been the Panzerwerfer actually. Yeah, it was. It's actually Panzerwerfer firing in all of those tanks. Damaging quite heavily. Almost
that
destroyed
bridge
SU-76.
just got totally
obliterated.
Messed up. We have an Ostwind coming out now from Barton here on the left-hand side. He's going to join the Panzer IV, which is still in a pretty bad shape after quite a long time. Just sitting here on the left-hand side, not had any repairs for a little while.
Oh, 18-8 goes in on the Ostwind. He now needs to move in with his SU-85. Boom! There he goes. Lays in the hurt on the Ostwind, and the ISU is actually moving in as well.
Oh boy!
No match. Yeah, it is no match for an ISU. It cannot
penetrate that armor.
they're getting
stuck on the bridge. Neither tank can move. They might not be able to find the Ostwind now.
Yeah, I don't think they can see it anymore. You can use the ISU's 85's ability of basically getting tunnel vision, or whatever you want to call it. So you can see further
he has
ahead.
Actually activated that, the focus sight ability.
Yeah, the focus sight. You can basically look ahead, but you can't really see anything to the sides.
Oh no, double snipers get caught out on retreat by 3 Grenadier squads and get annihilated.
Executed even.
That was brutal. That was half of Marcus's army gone in a second there.
Nice rifle grenade forces away the conscript, the veteran conscript with one of those flamethrowers. I guess those were the ones that picked up the flamethrower on the ice. Nice grenade on the Grenadiers, but they are Vet 3, very sturdy, and it was thrown a little bit behind. The SU-85 not being a very competent infantry killer, trying to snipe a Grenadier, not really succeeding, however. And that Ostwind is still hanging around on the ice. He needs to move up his ISU or something and just blast the ice beneath it.
I don't think he can. The ISU's got a destroyed engine.
Oh, it does. No, not the ISU. It's just sitting on the
sorry,
side.
the SU-85.
Yeah, that thing is kind of toasted, I guess.
Yeah, no, the ISU
can't really move.
should definitely move up. I mean, one hit and it'll send the Ostwind to the to a watery grave.
Yeah, but yet again, this massive amounts of Ostrup and infantry from Barton now moving in on the rear at this ISU.
One hit from the
oh, it actually misses.
If that thing hits, it's gonna be biblical.
Oh! Oh!
The sound from that ISU is insane.
It's trying to aim. Oh, look at that!
Oh my god.
And artillery from the SU-76 as well. Oh, bodies and limbs and torsos flying all over my screen. All of those Osttroopen, sure, you get them for free, but come on. Give the man a chance to survive at least a little bit. We do have 10 VPs for the Soviets now, however. They are fighting fiercely here on the left-hand side, but there's no infantry to cap.
A tiger is suddenly showing its face.
Pinging the shots from the SU-85. Doing a lot of damage. I think Faust went in on the ISU as well. 5 VPs now for the Soviets, trying to stop the drain in the center. I can see one lone combat engineer from Marcus trying to decap it. At the same time, Bjarkey is actually busy on that left-hand side. He has taken out the SU-85 and the ISU as well, and this SU-76 is no match for something like the heavy armored Tiger.
It's a real shame as well because it's Vet 3 and it's going to die in about one shot to this Tiger.
It's immobilized. He can't even run away now. It actually does take out the Panzer IV, however, combined with some 18As from those conscripts, but why isn't the Tiger firing on him? Which I'm actually sure.
He can't get his turret in the right place because he keeps on turning around.
Yeah, I think he's favoring trying to kill the infantry so they can't get the VP there. They're just 2 VPs short of winning this game now, the Axis team. That's all they need. Now he's focusing on the SU-76. Surely going to go down. There's an 18-8 on that Tiger, however. Look at the little damage that did. Basically nothing.
Well, he scratched it. Oh my god, that SU-76 is tough as nails.
See if he gets it here with the Tiger. Next shot might be able to take it out. Finally goes down, awarding him quite a lot of XP. At the same time, we do have the Osttruppen. Yeah, 2 VPs, and the Osttruppen here on the right-hand side, on the north side of Russian Frontline, is trying to get these Vet 3 conscripts away with the stolen Shrek. And I think the sheer amount of men on these Osttruppen is way too much of a match for a conscript squad, even though they are Vet 3. Nice Molotov, just to lay in some hurt, but I think it's going to be too little, too late. There's nothing even close to the vicinity of that VP now, and it is neutral right now. At the same time, we have the middle VP being contested as well from the austere players. There is artillery actually raining down on them, but it didn't miss.
It's another ISU there in the middle, plugging away at the Panzer Grenadiers in the center, but the VPs are just so low now. They've got to be just seconds away from losing. As soon as this middle point gets capped, which it will do
there
in
just
a second, yeah, it's going to be over.
Down to 1 VP. Double Panzerfaust goes in on the Su-85 before the match ends due to the VPs going down to 0 for the Soviet team. Very, very bravely fought by all of these Osttruppen guys from Barton. Lots and lots of Grenadiers and P-Grens from Bjarkey as well, combined with all of these heavy tanks from the Soviet players. Those ISUs 52s sure can crack some ice.
They seriously can. You know, I'm beginning to wonder that Stug probably didn't actually get killed by the ISU, but rather the ISU just took out the ice that it was sitting on.
Yeah, it just sank to the bottom of the ocean, or the bottom of the lake at least.
Oh boy, I gotta use that thing more. It looks like a ton of fun to use.
Yeah, it sounds like a ton of fun to use as well. It sounds very, very magnificent or something. Yeah, it's just like my eardrums. They just got blown out by this ISU 52 firing. Very cool game, nicely fought from both teams, all 4 players. That was Bjarkey, Barton versus Marcus and SunAngel. Very nice game. Thanks guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, comment and like this video, and tell all of your friends, and we'll see you guys for some more Company of Heroes 2 action soon. See you guys.
See you guys.